Okay, so today's talk, welcome. I'm Reverend Jane, and today's talk is about how to release the heaviness in your life. And this is something that I realized I've gone through a lot recently, so this was a perfect topic for me. I'll start in all these quotes are by Ernest Holmes, and he says, "No one can demonstrate peace and cling to unhappiness. There's one power in the universe, and we can all use it. It has been said that we can know God only insofar as we can become God." And this is what this entire talk is about, is really becoming the outlet of God. There's this great story that I was reading the other day, and it was by Mark and Angel, and they talk about how their psych professor, on the last day when it was graduation, she did a story in front of the whole graduating class. And she said, "I would like to share this story in hopes that it will be a powerful lesson to shift your perspective and your mindset." And so she raises up this glass of water, and everybody's thinking, oh, it's a glass half full, half empty. And instead she says, "How much do you think that this glass of water weighs?" So everybody yells out from, how many pounds they think and how many ounces and pounds. And she is listening to all them shouting back and forth, and she gets a smile on her face. And she says, "Well, from my perspective, the weight is totally irrelevant. What's relevant is how long I hold on to this glass of water." She says, "If I hold on to the glass of water for 2 minutes, well, it won't be very heavy. If I hold on to the glass of water for an hour, I'm going to start to feel that in my arms, probably going to start to ache." She says, "But if I hold on to that glass of water for 24 hours, I'm going to have numbness and tingling from holding this glass of water." And she said that the actual glass of water doesn't change at all, but the longer you hold it, the heavier it feels. And I realized too, as she was saying this, that's exactly what I'd been doing with what had been going on in my life. And so she looks at this graduating class and she says, "Your worries, frustrations, disappointments, and stressful thoughts are just like this glass of water." She said that if you think about your problems, or as we call it, conditions, for 2 minutes, they're pretty light. You think about it for an hour, it starts to ache. You think about your problems over and over for 24 hours, you start to get numb and paralyzed, incapable of doing anything else. So instead, what we know in these teachings is give it up to God. And as Ernest said, there's one power in the universe, and we can all use it. It's the same power that breathes in, through, and as us. I went through my trip to Canada, where I rode with my dad in the ambulance to get him home so we could do hospice care at home for him. And it was quite traumatic for me. And my mom and dad aren't together. My mother was having her separate challenges. But I started to think, oh my gosh, this means my dad's going to die. This means that it's not going to be the same when I go back to visit everything. And I realized I could hold on to that for a couple of minutes, an hour, or I could just obsess in it for the whole day. And I had to keep going back to this heaviness. I had to give it up and give it up to God. And that quote that Ernest said that I mentioned earlier, that no one can demonstrate peace and cling to happiness. So I gave it up to God because I wanted the peace so I could be present for my dad. And then when my mom had her own big trauma that came up, and I had to drive her an hour and a half, 2 hours away to this other hospital. And then we had to go back the next day, and we got it all sorted. On the way back, I'm like, "Mom, let's just look at this different. Can we just go down to the beach and just get some fresh air?" So we drove to a beach on the way, and I got the foods that I love, these raw foods. And then we got closer to where she was, and she goes, "Oh, can we go out for fries?" And so we got fries, and we sat down at the beach, and we just watched nature. And it brought me back to that place of God within, and it just created this peace. But I had to give it up. All my worries, was my mom going to be totally blind because she went blind that one day? or my dad, everything, and how it was changing so rapidly. And I knew that inside of me, I was making that choice, how long I was going to carry that problem. And for me, it was like spiritual boot camp. I just had to keep giving it up to God. And it was like, okay, now you got to jump over this obstacle and you got to give it up to God. And how long are you going to hold it until you give it up to God? So this is what I offer is that when I got back, not that that wasn't even enough, when I got back, I sprained my ankle the first day back. And I was out hiking. I was having a great time. And I just tripped on a pothole getting back to get my dog water. So again, I had to go, okay, how long? Because I was in a lot of pain. I sat still for an hour. Okay. And after an hour, I went, this is getting pretty heavy. I need to give this up to God too. This seeming thing of a sprained ankle, I gave it up. And then as the hours went on, I just had to keep doing it again, just like I was in this boot camp for God. And then I eventually dropped into a calm state. But I got to say, I was totally traumatized when I had the fall. And I got to ride back to the house. And I just wanted to sit in the truck. I didn't want to go to an ambulance or get anybody to come or go to the hospital. I just wanted to sit there. And I realized that was me just kind of settling and going back into this divine essence until I could really handle it. And that statement of that there is one power in the universe and we can all use it. Trust me, I was using that power in that moment once I got out of the story of it. And, now 5 days have passed since I did it. And I've been hobbling around on crutches and calling on my dad and my mom. And my mom's eye surgery's all booked. And again, I'm still in this place of I have to keep living from giving it up to God, knowing that I'm the outlet of God. It's not just I'm the inlet of God in these teachings. I realize that it has been said that we can know God only insofar as we can become God. So we can only know God as much as we can become God. And this is what I'm realizing is that we all have to get to this place where we're giving more up to God and catching ourselves. Are we holding the glass? Has it been an hour? Has it been a day? Has it been a week? And giving it up, knowing that spiritual boot camp, it's every day. We can tap into this power. So today we did this in the prosperity class. I want to do the hung saw meditation. And we're going to do it just a little bit different than we did, but this has become my new freeing tool. So I'm going to invite you to take 3 deep breaths, ideally with your eyes closed unless you're driving. So take 3 deep breaths into the heart area, please. Now I want you to tense everything up in your body, like tense, 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 and then let it go. And again, really tense, tense, tense everything in your body, and let it go. And one more time, everything that might have happened today or frustrations of your own, or maybe you've had a fall, whatever it is, just tense, 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 give it up to God. One more deep breath in, and then on the exhale, we're going to do 2 exhales out of the mouth. So we'll just inhale, and then just exhale it out. And we're just going to go into a little cycle of breath work. So I will prompt you. So hung on the inhale, saw on the exhale. And you can do this driving, eyes open, eyes closed. It's amazing. So inhale to hung, exhale to saw. Inhale to hung, and exhale to saw. So that's what we'll be doing. We're going to do one thing prior to that, and that is I want you to inhale for the count of 4. Hold your breath for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold it out for 4. Inhale for 4. Hold the breath for 4. Focus on your third eye. Exhale for 4. Hold the breath out for 4. Inhale one more time for 4. Hold the breath. Exhale for 4. Hold the breath out for 4. Now, if you're in a place, I'd like you to take your hands, place them on your lap, and touch one finger at a time, thumb to index, thumb to middle, thumb to ring, thumb to baby finger, and as you complete a breath. So first we'll touch the index and we'll take an inhale to hung, saw, exhale. Just say it in your mind. Then move to your next finger and do hung, saw at your own pace. Inhale, exhale to saw. Inhale to hung. Just keep with this loop. Inhale to hung, touching the finger, and exhale to saw. Inhale to hung, exhale to saw. I'd like you to do a round on your own, just touching your own fingers. Just let go of any words and allow yourself to feel the presence of God. Make sure that presence is inside of you. You are the inlet and the outlet. Feel the presence of the divine in you, right here and right now. Believe that presence right here and right now. Be the presence. Be the empty weight, just lightness, God, space, freedom. Feel how you know brilliant ideas already come through you. Claim that. Claim the abundance that is already yours because you are that God essence. It's everywhere present. Think of nature. Everywhere you look, there's abundance. You already are that. See yourself valued as you value yourself. See others valuing you. Allow yourself to breathe that in. Value. God. Of course you value God. Of course others value God. You are the inlet and outlet to God. And then just enjoy that delicious peace and bliss and joy. I just want you to send that energy inside of every cell of your body as wholeness, health, radiance, as God, expressing in, through, and as you. Just allow yourself to be God as you. And then just slowly take your time, coming back when you're ready. Noticing the peace, the stillness in the mind, and the God essence of who you already are. Brilliant, prosperous, kind, conscious. And so it is.